I'm going to show you the best way to use contracts and everything you need to know about contracts in Farming Simulator 25. If you are a beginner like me and you're starting a new farm, what I love to do is do a rags to riches kind of playthrough, which means you'll be very tight on money at the start, and contracts are one of the best ways to actually get a lot of money. So, number one, how do we access contracts? And by the way, if this video is useful to you, please click that subscribe button below. It really helps support the channel and I'd really appreciate it. So on the left here in our menu, we have this little A4 piece of paper icon. This is your contracts. And you can see here all the different contracts that are currently on offer. Some of them give a lot of money, some of them give hardly any money. And it generally is by the size or difficulty. For instance, this baling job here wants you to do 0.51, I think that's a hectare, maybe, of baling, whereas this one wants you to do 1.68. So you can see why it is so much more expensive. Now, I do also think a really good way of doing contracts is if you want to learn something new. Let's say you are thinking about doing some baling on your own farm, but you don't really know what machinery you want or need, and you can't be bothered to watch one of my tutorials. For instance, doing a contract in it is a really easy way of, for a very cheap cost of just leasing the equipment, learning how to do something as well. And the equipment will disappear at the end of the contract, so you can learn if you like something or not. And I think it's a really good way to actually get a bit more deep into the game. We're going to do something really simple here. Let's do fertilizing. Let's just do a simple fertilizing one. Now, I'm also going to give you a massive tip here. And let's take fertilizing as an example. Can you see here, farmland 66, right? This is going to give you €1,000 for completing the fertilizing of this little field here, which is obviously quite a small field. Now, I personally am not going to use my own equipment. You can use your own equipment and you will actually get a higher price for the contract. As you can see here, equipment. Use your own equipment or lease it for a reward reduced by €400, which I think is a pretty good deal. And it's 0.58 hectares. And we're going to get this tractor and this shoddy little fertilizing machine if we lease it. But what we can do is, see this one here that's even bigger. Can you see here that you can do it and it will reduce the reward by €600? But if you lease it, but you get this bigger tractor and this much bigger fertilizing machine. And same again for this one. An even better example would be sowing, where you could see for 2,000 I could do this little sowing machine, but for the 12,000 one I get this gargantuan sowing machine, and still my reward's only reduced by €400. What you could do is accept all of these sowing ones, and by the way, when I say accept them all, you can only have 3 active at a time. You can only have 3 active contracts at one time, right? So what I would do is I would accept this one for 12,000, and you can either press here, accept contract. If you do that, it will be using your own equipment. If you press the borrow items button, that will also accept the contract, but with leasing. And they don't make that very clear here, so don't make that mistake. If you do make that mistake, you could just go in and you can cancel it here, and then I could just press collect to then cancel it off completely. So back into sowing, what I would do is I would press borrow items on this 12,000 reward one and get the huge sowing machine. And I'm going to show you all of you this in practice in a minute. And then what you do is you go, right, I'm now going to accept this one and I'm going to accept this one, but I'm not going to borrow the items. I'm just going to accept the contract. You can then drive your super duper huge sowing machine to the other contracts and do them and get the maximum reward. You still keep the machines as long as you don't hand in this last the contract that you're borrowing the items from. So I can accept this contract and press borrow, go pick up the machines. Then I can go and do this contract, hand both of these in, do this one and this one. You've got 8 hours, you can see here. And then I could just do this one last and then hand the items in, meaning that I can do these tiny little ones, because look how small this one is compared to this one. I think that's a really great tip. to make your contracts a lot more efficient. And look how much money we could get, 20,000 just by doing these. So let's actually go and do a contract. And for this one, I don't want to do this huge one because it's just a tutorial I'm doing. So I am actually going to do the smaller one. So let's say I'm going to do a sowing contract for field 64 here. And you can see what crop they want as well. And I'm going to borrow the items here. So I'm going to click borrow items. The leased machines are waiting for you at the shop. Remember to fill the tools if needed. Okay. I got active contracts up here and you can see my active contract. You can see it's on farm 64. I go onto the map. And then I go to the shop, which is this little basket icon, visit. And if I turn around, you can see that my tractor and my leased equipment is here waiting for me. I am going to have to buy some seeds for this one. I'm just going to buy, it's 1,000, you see. So this is the annoying thing as well. If you are leasing things for things like sowing, you are then going to have to buy the seeds, which can greatly reduce your profit. However, one bag of seeds will probably do like a good few fields. It'll probably do all of the contracts I just showed you. Again, getting that biggest contract, filling up the machine of seeds, and then doing all of them would therefore net you the biggest profit margin. But for the point of this tutorial, I'm just going to buy a bag for this one contract and lessen my profit. I'm going to get into the tractor, zoom out, attach the sewing machine. So I'm just going to reverse up to it. Now, the annoying thing is, I don't know if we can actually toggle the GPS to tell us where to go for this. So I'm going to show you a tip for that. Now, when you're near the sewing machine, I can press R to refill it. Can you see on the right-hand side, it's filling up with wheat. And there we go, 30%, 33%. And we need to cycle with the Y button through to, was it barley? No, it's canola, I think. There we go, canola. I've cycled through to canola. I'm going to look on the map, zoom out. Okay, it's down here to field 64 that we need to go. See, there's this restaurant nearby. I can click on this and press tag place. And then that means that on my map, I will see... Can you see that red circle just above where my tractor is there? 840 meters away. Cool. Let's follow the red circle. And that's going to tell us how to get to the contract we're doing. So I'll meet you there. One other thing you could do, by the way, if you don't like driving around on the map so much, is just to activate an AI worker. Let's just stop the car quickly. I can go onto my map. I can go to create job up here on the map. Select a vehicle to create a job. So if you zoom in on the vehicle you're already in, I can just click myself. I can create job. And then I can see it says target position. I click the little icon. It says pick a target location. And I just drag it. And then I can just say that road here facing this way. Double click again. And then I press start job. If I come out of the map here, it may take a minute, and the AI isn't always amazing, but it should start then just driving to the job. So it takes a little, about 20, 30 seconds usually to get its brain into gear. And it says AI worker has stopped unexpectedly. Okay, great. So let's do that again. It sometimes works. I think doing field jobs are better. Great job. But I do sometimes find they aren't the best when it comes to driving around. Okay, so it thinks the target is unreachable here. So I'm just going to do it myself. But that's how you do it anyway. Again, sometimes the AI of driving, it might think it's unreachable. I don't know why. But it does often work. I do often send my, you can send them to like the shops to, deliver grain and do all sorts of things. Just sometimes it doesn't work. One other tip I would say is to actually set the AI workers on your fields, which they're much better at. So I would set your AI workers to be harvesting on your own fields, and then you can go and do contracts for other people. Because then you're automatically doing what you need to do in your fields while also earning money elsewhere. So that's another good tip, I believe. Okay, so here we are at the field. Don't know why that was saying that target was unreachable. I'm just going to lower down the thingy and turn it on. Make sure you're on the right seed, of course. So here we go. We're now sowing the seed. Is that the right seed? Yes. Can you see on the top right, it says sowing, field 64. and you can see the percentage is going up. And then once we've done the entire field, obviously then we'll look at completing the contract. So now that we've actually completed the field, it will come up saying this contract is complete. And you can see I'm still in the vehicle, etc. If we turn it off quickly, go to our menu, go to our contracts, and you can see it says completed. And you press space here to collect. I press collect, the mission was collected, and the machinery will disappear. And that's why I was saying earlier, when you do the trick where you use the biggest machinery and the biggest contract to other ones, you mustn't hand in the biggest contract, otherwise you will lose that machinery. So you must do the smaller ones first. And that is everything you need to know about contracts. And oh, by the way, if you want, you can toggle AI to do these contracts for you. So just go to the field, toggle AI, and they will actually, finish the job for you. So you could also rent different equipment for different contracts, drive it there, and then have your AI workers also do it for you. If this was helpful, please click that subscribe button below and check out the playlist you now see on screen for my other Farming Simulator 25 tutorials.